welcome everybody to Our Side Paranormal. I'm your host, Becky Vickers with Lisa Isaac, and we are going to talk about our side of things for the next hour. We really don't give a damn about anybody else's side right now. And we have a very special guest with us. He doesn't need a lot of introduction. You guys have seen him on Ghost Brothers, Fright Club, Graveyard Shift, and recently he and his beautiful wife Stacy have this funny podcast where it's Ghosted or Roasted. So you guys got to go check all that out. Let's just get into it. Let's welcome Dalen Spratt.
Welcome, Dalen.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
I want to bring up Dalen just super quick. We're going to get into the paranormal stuff, but I think some of our listeners may not be aware that you design clothes.
Yeah, that's funny. So when I was in college, I actually studied abroad in Beijing, China. So I was studying international international business and international marketing. And when I was over there, they have a big, it's almost like a swap meet, kind of like a multi-level swap meet called the Silk Factory. And I would just go up there every day, and I end up bumping into these people that made suits, and I became really good friends with them. And when I moved back to, where was I at? Georgia at the time, I started keeping in contact with them. And I just had this idea. I was like, if I try to make suits out here, can you guys make them for me? And they was like, yeah. And yeah, that's where it all started. And me and Jawan have been making suits. Oh man, what was that? 2007, since 2000, maybe 7 or 8.
I just think that's so freaking cool.
Yeah. So we make suits for TV and film productions, weddings, personal clientele. We've been featured in magazines, Essence magazine, been on TV. Like, it's been cool. That's what we were doing. We still do it now, but that's what was carrying us before Ghost Brother.
They're nice too. I looked at the website. There's some nice looking suits.
Thank you.
Really
We're about
nice.
to rev it up more. We're about to step it up more. It's time to put more energy into it, because we've never.
Okay, so did you design your suit then that you got married in?
I did.
Nice.
Dude, I'm just speaking on behalf of all women. That was a badass suit. You looked really good in it.
Thank you. Yeah, and
it was great.
We sold a lot of that suit after that. Like, it was
really.
Yeah, because the suit got featured in people.com.
Oh,
Yeah, we literally sold out of like all of that fabric.
That was a nice suit.
It looked really nice. Really nice. You. Okay, let's get to the paranormal stuff. I want to start out because we want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Like the real Dalen. I know I've read where you grew up in the church, and that kind of started your paranormal interest.
Well, kind of. Like I said, my mom's been my pastor, the head pastor of our church since I was in the 3rd grade. I think the 3rd grade is when she transitioned from a school teacher to becoming a full-time minister. And yeah, the way I was brought up, I was the guy that, I was a PK, the preacher's kid. So I was in the choir, the step team, the drill team, the usher board, like anything that came through the church. My mama made me be the example for all the
Good for mama.
Yeah. So and at our church, well, the way we was raised, it was just like, and Marcus says it all the time, it's like the only ghost that we ever acknowledged was the Holy Ghost.
Hey, I hear you.
Anything outside of that, we were taught was either demonic, the devil, or bad. So there was no in between. Right. So I didn't really have any interest. I didn't think about it. I didn't care about it. Like, that just wasn't my life up until Jawan and I had graduated from college, and we were making suits, and we were working on the Monique show, and we were watching them make television. We were doing wardrobe for the Monique show, and we were watching them make TV shows every day. So we're like, okay, it takes a cameraman, it takes a sound guy, a producer, you know what I'm saying? These people feed people, like all this stuff goes into making a TV show. And I woke up one night and and when I woke up, it had to be like 2 o'clock in the morning. And on the TV was like one of the ghost hunting shows. I don't know what show it was to this day. Because I didn't watch any of them. I just knew that I had never seen any Black people doing it.
Hey,
And
right.
and I was just curious to why that was. Like, why were Black and brown people not necessarily entertaining the paranormal community? And I was just wondering, like, was it because, religious beliefs, the way that, we were brought up, just the way that we see things? And yeah, that's where the whole idea sparked from. So it didn't even come from like an interest in paranormal. It didn't come from an experience. Like, it literally just came from me not seeing any representation and trying to figure out why that was.
So when you decided to jump into doing this paranormal thing, how was it that accepted by your family, like by your mom? Did she support it 100% or?
Yeah, she did. Like, I got one of those moms that's like, if I told her I wanted to be an astronaut, she would have went outside and built me a spaceship. Like, she's she's that type of person. So she never allowed her personal beliefs to deter me from being adventurous and finding the answers to my own questions. It wasn't until probably maybe 2 years ago. No, it was after the second season of Ghost Brothers. So that might have been like 4 years ago. I was just at home in Dallas and I was just laughing with my mom. And I was like, man, mama, you know why people like Ghost Brothers? And she was like, why? I said, because we don't know what we're doing. And people just like seeing it. I'm laughing. She doesn't crack a smile.
What? Because it's true. It's fun to see you guys keeping it so real.
Yeah, but like, she looked at me and she was like, you're absolutely correct. Because if you really knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be doing it. And she just walked off.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good point.
Yeah, in that moment, it let me know how she really felt about what I was doing. But she was so serious. I was like, we don't know what we're doing. And she was like, you're right. Because if you did, you wouldn't be doing it. And I was just like, dang, you probably right.
Damn, booyah. That is a point made without even saying it.
Yeah, right.
Moms know everything, don't they?
Yeah. I feel like in that moment, it was more so like my pastor. It felt like my pastor and not my mom.
Yeah.
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 So did that put it in perspective for you? Like, you guys go into these places, you have a religious background and religious belief, so you're protecting yourself.
Yeah.
When you go in, you guys pray and do all those things.
100%.
Yes.
Our mom is like our spiritual like leader. So she definitely covers us before every investigation. But in my heart of hearts, I just feel like my belief in God and his protection is greater than my understanding of attachments and other things like that. So again, I feel like my belief in God is way stronger than my understanding of this other stuff. And I feel like that's what's kept me safe.
Absolutely. But when you come home, Stacy's meeting you. She got the holy water and take those shoes off, Dalen. Don't you come in that house with him?
I don't even think about it.
Clothes, I got a shower. I got
don't you come in here,
baby? None of that stuff. Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's cool. Do you think? Lisa and I were talking. This is such a. It can be dangerous. People. I mean, on TV, there's so many shows now and everything. And Lisa and I have been doing it a long time. And it's weird how people just think, oh, let's just grab our camera and video camera and we're going to go to this haunted location and it's all good. That's all there is to it. But it's not.
Talking about ghosts, the lights done went out.
Oh, see?
Y'all done started something over here.
So,
okay.
Dalen, go ahead.
No, my light went out. So if it's a little dark, guys, I apologize.
I'm thinking it's spooky.
Yeah.
That's greatness.
Okay.
Especially because Lisa and I were talking. Do you think it's changed your perspective now that you're a dad on going to haunted locations and things?
Or
not really, because you're protecting your mom's, saying prayers and.
I tried. I would be a lie if I said those thoughts never crossed my mind. But I feel like just my belief, like in my heart of hearts, and this is just me being completely honest, in my heart of hearts, I truly believe God gave me the idea for Ghost Brothers. And I don't feel like God would allow me to put myself or my family in a messed up situation from an idea that he gave me. And like, even before Ghost Brothers
That's
got
great.
up, yeah, even before Ghost Brothers, I prayed. I was like, Lord, if this ain't something that's meant for us, then don't let it happen. If it is of you, then let it flourish.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I haven't had, but I mean, my mind plays tricks on me. Like I remember some months ago when Axel was a real little baby, she was in her crib and we were out on the road filming Ghost Brothers, and Stacy was here at the house, and we have a camera over her crib so we can always just look on the phone and can see her no matter where we are.
Right.
Remember, it was probably like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up and I'm looking at my phone and I check on Axel and she's laying in her crib, but there's this white mist hovering.
What?
It's hovering over her crib. I am terrified. I was like, oh my God, something that came. I brought something
Yes.
home.
Trying to get my baby.
What is this? So I'm calling Stacy, calling her. And she finally picks up the phone. And I'm like, Stacy, go check on Axel. There's something literally floating over the baby's bed. And she was like, boy, that is the humidifier. If you don't get off my phone. But that moment let me know, like, Dalen, man, it's all, a lot of stuff is in your head. A lot of this stuff is in your head.
That's too much.
Yeah.
That would have been scary though.
It was very scary.
Because you're not there. You just see that. And being a ghost hunter, mists and vortexes and all that's like legit stuff.
It's legitimate stuff.
Yeah. So I'm sure that scared you to death.
I was terrified. I ain't gonna lie. That was probably, it seemed like hours. Realistically, she probably picked up the phone on like the second ring. But like it seemed like, man, yeah. But that was the one and only time that I saw what it felt like, even briefly, to think that you're the cause of something like that.
Yeah.
And that was the worst feeling ever. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't ever want to feel that way.
That would be tough to feel that. But so it has kind of like changed your thoughts, because now you do think more about.
Well, I just have to be aware.
No, he said he doesn't watch the camera as much anymore because the humidifier.
I don't check on the baby. No. But no, yeah, you're absolutely right. It definitely puts those thoughts in my mind, because I just have more people to think about. When I first started Ghost Brothers, I was single, no kids, wasn't married, wasn't really dating. I was just out here living. So I didn't have anybody to think about other than myself. And now, I got a wife, a child, and it's just, their safety is just the number one priority for me. So.
But God, I love the way that you said, you don't think God would have put this in your path if it was something bad.
Yeah. And I
never thought about that. Have you, Lisa? Like,
no, I haven't.
Ghost hunting, and we do all the protection stuff, but I agree with that. I just have never thought of it that way.
Yeah, and I mean, I had that in prayer, that real conversation with God. So my thing is, if I'm telling you, if this is not of you, I'm okay not doing it.
Right.
If it is, then please allow it to flourish. So I felt like it had to be God if it's flourishing. You know what I'm saying? Like I prayed to God and I verbally asked you to take it away from me if it's going to be a detriment to my life.
Yeah.
And you did. So
it's flourishing too.
Yeah, it's doing well. It's doing well.
You guys are killing it. Like,
thank you.
I love, like you're talking about, when you didn't see someone of color on TV. I mean, you don't, and I don't know why that is. I don't understand that, because you guys are killing it, and I don't think, quite honestly, Dalen, I don't think it has anything to do with your color. You guys are fabulous. You're funny.
I think our color. There we go.
Ooh,
now we can see.
We're back. I'm one of the probably most honest and self-aware people that you would probably ever meet. Like, there's nothing you can tell me about me that I already don't know and have accepted. So I know that we only got an opportunity because we were Black. And that's fair. I don't care. Way to go, affirmative action. My thing is, it had to be something to keep us in the door. You know what I mean? And I think that our personalities shine through, and yeah, people gravitated to that. But I'm fully aware that we were only given the opportunity day one because we were Black, and they were looking to check a box. And that's okay. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't want that to be the reason why people watched this. You know what I mean? And to be completely honest, I think us being Black was probably more of a hindrance than being helpful when we first came out. Really? We got death threats, man. We had to have a whole meeting. They had to fly us to the Discovery offices in New York, and we had to meet with their legal team and their security team.
Dalen, what the hell?
Yeah, people don't know all of that stuff. Like, people see the Ghost Bros and just think whatever. But yeah, people don't know all the stuff that we had to go through. Like, we were getting death threats. And so they had to fly us to New York to go over like the safety procedures and precautions that they take in regards to us. And so yeah, it was interesting. It was crazy.
That's terrible though. Like,
yeah. We had we were doing over COVID, we were doing Ghost Brothers and Chill. So we would do Zoom calls, and we would just invite all those supporters that wanted to chime in. And we were doing this weekly. And we got, I don't know what it's called, Zoom bombed or something. Whatever it was, somebody hacked into our live stream. It was the craziest thing ever. Someone hacked into our live stream with hundreds of people on it. And just like we're using Zoom now, and on the screen just started popping up images of Black people being hung in the during slavery.
Oh my God, that gave me chills. Who the hell does that?
No, it was, when I tell y'all, it was the worst thing. Like, we had to, I mean, we didn't apologize on our behalf, but there was kids on the stream. They were showing dead Black babies. They were showing Black people hung from trees. They were calling us the N-word. And yeah, they just some kind of way hacked into our live stream. So our controllers wouldn't work.
Couldn't do anything.
I couldn't do anything. And it was just, it was the craziest thing.
Did y'all find out who did that?
No.
There's crazy people out there.
No.
I mean, and sorry that happened. Because
me too.
That's some crap.
Wow. Yeah. It was, and a lot of people saw it. And it was, again, that shit doesn't bother me. But like, because I mean, I don't know you. I don't know who's doing it. You're a coward. But it was kids on the line. You know what I'm saying? And kids.
Piece of shit. Pardon my French, but really, oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dalen, we're getting close to our time. Unless you want to stay and visit, we can talk all night. But I want to respect you. You got bedtime. Would you play a quick flash round questions with us? There's only 10. Lisa's going to ask you 5. I'll ask you 5. Just pop out. And it's called personal or paranormal. Might be a personal question. It might be a paranormal question. Are you in?
I'm in.
Okay, let me get mine. Lisa, you got yours ready?
I got them.
We got to have some fun after that terrible thing, because I've still got chills about it. I mean, I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry.
Hey man, they say way more about those people than it does anything else. But yeah.
Crazy.
You're right. It does. Absolutely. 100%. All right. So
you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this. All right. So you're from Dallas. So if you're from Dallas, in the area that we're from, you got to know Aunt Stell's snow cone. Yes or no?
What? Where is that?
You grew up over there and you didn't know about Aunt Stell's.
But in my defense, in DeSoto, we have the snow cone shack. We don't go nowhere else. We don't go nowhere else.
See, I must have missed on the snow cone shack, but you missed on Aunt Stell's, man.
I did. So I don't know.
Now y'all gotta go try each other's place.
Aunt Stell's just closed. I literally grew up on Aunt Stell's.
Where is it?
It was on Clarendon. Like you would take Clarendon down and it winds around, and I'm trying to think of the street right before, but it was like a little bitty building, and they would only open from certain hours. They just had a window.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, that's how ours was in DeSoto. But yeah,
Ooh.
ours is called the Snow Cone Shack, and literally that was the meetup spot. That was the
Yeah.
fighting spot. That was the
Yes.
date
I want to
spot.
go now. I want to go to both of your places. Well, Lisa said hers closed,
They
but
did.
Yeah,
They
ours.
did.
Yeah, it's still up out there. Yeah, that's cool. I got to check. Well, damn, I missed it.
Yeah, they had the best, man. Their snow
Yeah.
was like powder. It was so
Yeah.
good. It was the
Yeah.
best. All right. So will we see Stacy clocking in on the graveyard shift?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
I have finally convinced her to come out with me one time to see how she does. So yeah, so probably depending on the weather. Yeah, we might try to get it done next week. So hopefully.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
We
She's
love her.
funny. We do. We love her. She's funny. All right. What haunted location is at the top of your paranormal bucket list?
Oh man, we've been trying to get. I've been there before. I just never investigated, and that's Alcatraz.
Oh yeah.
oh, Dalen, I've been there. It's the greatest place. You guys got to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It's
So
amazing.
my 30th birthday, I want to say. I'm 37 now, so maybe it wasn't my 30th birthday, or maybe it was. Anyway, a friend of the family had a cousin who was a park ranger at Alcatraz. So he invited me out. I came out there just to do the regular tour of Alcatraz, but he came and pulled me and the person I was dating at the time out the line, and he took us like behind the scenes in
Ooh.
I
Alcatraz.
love it when that
That would
happens.
be awesome.
Oh my gosh. He took me, I can only describe it as a dungeon. I don't think that they bring people down there. So he was
I
like,
don't remember seeing a dungeon.
He was like, I'm going to show you where they used to put the people who are like, it's like the jail inside of the jail inside of the jail. So once
my
you get
gosh.
up in Alcatraz, if you're big and bad, you go somewhere else
Yeah.
in Alcatraz. If you get caught up in that, your last stop is this dungeon. So he took me down there. And when I tell you, it's like, it's dark down there, but it was a little bit of light, so I could still see a little bit. But it's almost like, okay, you see this wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like they tunneled into the wall to make like a very, very shallow cave. It's not a jail cell. It's like they tunneled into concrete and made like a very shallow cave. And he was like, they would put people in here. And then he was like, I'm gonna show you how dark it gets in here. Oh. And he was like, run your hand along the side of the wall when I cut the lights out. So he cut the lights out. And when I tell you, I don't even know what's darker than pitch black. Like your eyes don't even adjust.
Yeah, you can't adjust.
So I put my hand on the wall to feel around. Y'all, you could feel the scratch marks that people had left in the concrete. From years ago, from just going crazy. Oh my gosh.
Was it big enough to put a person in?
Yeah, so yes. But it's I say a shallow cave because I don't want you to think cave and it's just like this big, spacious area. No, it's literally they dig into the concrete. Honestly, you probably could fit 2 people in there, but there's no beds. There's
my God.
So it's sleeping on the ground. It's just
sleeping on concrete and it's pitch black in there.
And complete
24/7, huh?
24/7. He showed me. He was like, I'm going to show you how dark it gets in here. And we were in there in the daytime.
Okay.
Like,
no.
Oh man.
You would lose your damn mind like the first day or two in that.
If you could put nail scratches in concrete.
Yeah, you lost
your
mind.
God. That's I can't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Wild. But yeah, so that's my place. I would love to go investigate there, but like a real television investigation, meaning, with TV, they pull out more stops for you. Like they'll let you have the whole island by yourself and like, go to places you can't go. Like I would want that type of freedom there.
Okay, so you secure that and then you let me and Becky be guests on your show.
Exactly.
We got you.
Because we got you. We'll be I will stay in the tunnel for about like a second and a half.
Right. Right.
I'll wait outside the door and wait on you.
Yeah.
All right, Dalen, what's the favorite meal your mama cooks?
Oh, she would say pancakes. So she's like
Oh.
renowned for her pancakes. Like everybody comes to her house for pancakes. But I'm not really a pancake fan. So what does she make me all the time? Crab croquettes. So like salmon croquettes, she cooks those all the time.
Ooh.
And I'm from the South. So I tell people, I didn't even know wheat bread existed until I got to college. Like I come from everything's fried, everything
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's the kind of family I come from. So
Yeah.
Well, you talking to two Southern girls.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
know.
I
Yeah,
didn't
we
even
even
know
fry
baked was an
corn.
option for food for the like
Right?
who bakes, what? Where's the grease and the flour and all of that?
Exactly.
All right, what's your favorite piece of ghost hunting equipment?
I love the SLS camera. I love the SLS
Yeah,
camera.
that's great.
But I have a strong affinity and connection to my Spirit Box app. I don't like the SB7s or the 11s. They're just too clunky and too much static in the background.
Yeah.
I love my app. Some people don't like it. We got so much flack when we first came out from using an app on our phone. Like people thought we were not taking it serious and we were joking and da da da. Now everybody uses apps.
I know.
But back then we got so much flack.
Well, if a ghost can turn a light on and off and roll a ball and throw a brick, why can't it
So
use
you're
your
telling
phone as a form of communication?
So that's where y'all draw the line?
Right,
Like,
right.
Me using an app?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the app that you use?
So it's called Sono. So SONO, the letter X, the number 10. So
I'm
Sono
gonna write it down.
That's what I'm
Sono
doing.
X10 Spirit Box, but it's on the iPhone store, the
Okay.
Apple App Store. It's only in the iPhone App Store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it's good when you're doing your graveyard shift.
Yeah.
It's good.
It works for
Good.
me. I've been using it for 6 years. Like when we first came out with Ghost Brothers, I had no equipment. And I went to the App Store and I typed in ghost hunting. And that was the first thing that popped up. And I just downloaded it to my phone. And I remember I was in Dallas. And my mom told me, don't open up that app in this house. So I went down the street to a neighborhood park, a random park in middle of the day. No kids was out there, nobody. And I remember sitting on a bench and cutting on the app. And I just started asking questions. And I think I might have asked like, what is your name? Some stuff was coming out. But I finally was like, do you know my name? And it said, Dalen.
No.
and you said, hold on a minute.
Where the hell am I at? It freaked me out. But that was the day that no one could tell me anything about that app. Like I believed in that app wholeheartedly after that.
Because Dalen's not a common
used
name.
it.
No, it's not.
Dalen is not a common name.
No.
Does it freak you out to hear your name on the devices?
Not anymore. It used to.
Yeah.
It used to. It
The
used
same
to.
with us. If I hear
Yeah.
Becky, it's like, at first it's just a little hesitation of like, who the hell is that knows me? And
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, well, hopefully it's a friendly spirit or something.
Right. Right.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to ask my 5 questions really quick.
Gotcha.
Name a piece of equipment, Dalen, that does not use batteries.
Dowsing rods.
Good.
Mhm.
When was the last time you changed a diaper?
Yesterday. And
Oh, good for you.
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm laughing because right before the interview, hence why Axel is taking a bath. She had a blowout, and luckily I had to do an interview.
And you're like, sorry, Stacy.
Yeah.
I got things to do. Sorry. Oh my gosh, that's great. What does EVP stand for?
Electronic voice phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, some of these are super easy. What was the last show that you binged watched?
So it's funny. I had another interview earlier today. I feel like they need to pay me because I've been pubbing this show every interview.
Did they ask the same question?
Yeah, well, no, they just asked. He asked, "What am I watching right now?" or something, and I was just like, "Oh, I got excited." So no, but it's a show called The Accused. It's called Accused.
Yeah.
Accused.
Oh,
Have you
I
seen
don't
it?
know that one. No.
No, I have it queued up to start it. I
So
haven't
it's only
started.
3 episodes right now. This
Right,
is the first season, and yeah. So the whole premise of the show is every episode is a brand new cast, brand new story. So
Oh,
it doesn't, yeah, it's just not you. Every episode is its own freestanding story and episode, and then every episode starts in the middle of a trial. So you see the defendant, but you don't know why they're there. You don't know what they did, and then the story picks up from there, then backtracks to show you what transpired to get them to being defending themselves in court. But it's a dope show. It's dope, like because the stories are very, very interesting. They get these people there. It's not your typical I robbed somebody or I
Right.
killed somebody. It's like some real, like, oh wow, y'all put some thought into this.
is that on Netflix show?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu.
So
Oh, Hulu.
but I think it might be a Showtime show or something, maybe. I don't know, but it's on Hulu.
Is it based? Are the people that's in the trial? Or is that true crime? Like what they're there for? That's based off a real story, or is it just a story?
I think
I haven't heard of this.
I think they probably do like Law and Order. I think they probably
Oh, I
get
gotcha.
inspiration from real stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I feel like. But I don't know for certain. But I feel like they probably draw inspiration. For instance, and I'm not gonna give it away. You can watch the first episode, but the first episode is about a school shooter.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, so it's that whole. It's just like, damn, okay. But yeah, that whole first episode is about a school shooting massacre type situation.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah,
Y'all,
yeah.
what's the name of it?
Accused.
Accused. Okay. Lisa, help me remember that. I want to write that down. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
check it
always
out.
looking for new stuff to watch.
Yeah, I think it comes on Wednesdays. So yeah.
Woo. Okay, my last question. Name a haunted object that you've encountered.
So we were in Savannah at the. Was that Savannah? That was Savannah. At the Sorrel Weed House in Savannah, Georgia. So every year, was that Savannah? That was Savannah. It was Sorrel Weed House. We go to so many places.
I know.
That was our we do an annual Ghost Brothers weekend in Savannah, Georgia, Halloween weekend every year.
Oh,
So this past year in Savannah, we were at the Sorrel Weed House, and my group. So it's a Sorrel Weed House has a back house. It has maybe 2 or 3 floors. So the way we do it, Marcus goes in one place, I go to one place, Jawan goes to a place, and we just have people rotate. My group, there is a doll, I cannot remember her name, that they have inside of the Sorrel Weed House. And the lady that manages the Sorrel Weed House, or the caretaker of the Sorrel Weed House, she was just like, oh yeah, that doll is haunted for sure. She was like, I can, carry him or her around all throughout the house. I've heard, my name being called. I've heard all this crazy stuff around this doll. So she brings the doll to my group and sits the doll on the couch, right?
yeah.
So everybody, it's probably like 15 or 20 people in my group. And it's funny, I tell people this is how spirits work. Like they like to trick you. They like to do the whole look over here to show you something over here.
Yeah.
So she brings the doll and she's sitting the doll down, and everybody's just now the whole room's attention is on this doll. So we're all trying to, what is the doll gonna do? Hand to God, there's this like old dresser like in the back of the room. And as soon as everybody's eyes went to the doll, the doors of the dresser just opened up. And nobody's looking because we're all looking at the doll. It took one person to just turn around and be like, oh, and everybody just freaked out because we all knew that those doors were closed. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the last haunted object that I have been around.
That sounds wild.
Yeah.
Super wild.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Well, thank you for spending some time with us. I know you've got to go take care of your baby girl.
Yeah.
And Dalen, what do you guys got coming up real quick? Lisa and I are actually gonna get to meet you in person when March, April? You're
April,
coming to
Old Park.
Texas to the Oak Park
yeah.
Hotel.
We just
Yeah.
started. We just released those tickets. We're doing so. We have. Let me start over.
Okay, go ahead.
We're doing a year-long tour this year. So every month we're trying to do events like all over. So we have probably like 8 or 9 on the calendar for the rest of the year now. So we try to put like 3 more on. So the first is going to be the Old Park Hotel. Yeah, tickets just went on sale the other day. Yeah, we met the gentleman that owns it.
Dan.
At an event, and he's been trying to get us to come out there for a minute. So it's dope that we get to work it out. So yeah,
It's a good place. It's a good place.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's
come
great.
hang out with us. And yeah, we have events all year long. I think we do. Just let me. You know what? I think I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Schedule to see what
We are actually really good friends with Connie and Dan, and so we're just super excited you are coming. Plus the hotel, you guys are gonna find stuff. It's insanely haunted.
I'm excited. In May, we're going to
Yeah.
be at Ohio State Reformatory. So we
Oh, that's on our
Lisa,
bucket
road
list.
trip.
yeah,
road
that's
trip.
May 19th. August the 12th, we're going to be at Ashmore Estates.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we do a couple events there before. Then the 24th of August is Michigan Paracon. So we're going to be at Michigan
Cool.
Paracon. I think we're in talks of doing Scarefest this year. That's in
Ooh.
October in Kentucky.
Where's that gonna be?
It's in Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Kentucky, yeah. And then the New Jersey Paracon, which is a big Paracon in Jersey, that's in November.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we got a lot of stuff going. We try to do something at least once a month. So for sure.
Well,
at
you got
least
a birthday coming up next month.
Do you know I forgot all about that? Somebody said that I was at the bank or something, the post office or something. I pulled my ID out. They had to see my ID. And they were like, somebody has a birthday coming up. I'm like, oh. I was like,
You're like,
my
who?
birthday is in like 4 weeks. But yeah.
cool.
Well,
Happy early
So,
birthday.
Yeah, happy early birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I want to let you guys know that this is just a personal invite. Doesn't have to be a big event, but we do tours. I've written a book about the Goatman's Bridge. You might have heard about it. It's been on
Okay.
a lot of TV shows. You guys are only going to be 3.5 hours from us. Get your butts in the car and come to the bridge, and we'll just have you guys and us, and we'll show you all the hot spots on the bridge. And I would
Where is
love
that?
to see what you find.
It's in Denton. It's in Denton, Texas.
Oh, it didn't. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I think we fly in a DFW.
Oh, do you? Anyway,
Assuming.
we're
But yeah.
extending the invitation because you are going to be in Texas.
Well, even if not this time, I'm always in Texas. And Denton, Denton ain't nothing but an hour up 35.
Yeah.
So are you here? Your mom's still here?
Yeah.
Is that what you're in Texas?
Yeah,
Got
my
it.
whole family's in Dallas.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You on your graveyard shift too. Becky and I got a couple of secret cemeteries, graveyards we could show you also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in Dallas for like 3 weeks over Thanksgiving break, me, Axel, and my wife. And that was at the start of the graveyard shift. So if you go back and watch the graveyard shift, those first few episodes were all in Dallas. So it was like I did Lee Harvey Oswald, I did the Freeman Cemetery in Dallas. I did like 5 or 6 cemeteries in Dallas. And everybody was like, are you only gonna do Dallas? Yeah.
Yes, I saw that.
Man.
The first one I saw was the Oak Cliff Cemetery, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a good one too. That was a real good one.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for spending time and taking away from your family. You've been a fantastic guest, Dalen.
Yes.
And we can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me. And invite me back. I'll try to get the guys to come on. So
yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Get them. Who's the most scared on between the 3 of you in real life?
In real life?
Yeah,
In
like
real life.
who's your Frady cat?
I want to say Jawan, because
Oh,
Marcus has a big ego. He's never going to tell you he's afraid. You know what? I'm going to say it on the podcast.
go ahead.
Marcus has a big ego. He will
Woo!
never say he's afraid. He likes to lean on religion. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing that because I'm this. Or are you scared, Marcus?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Oh, man.
Yeah. But no, I would say Jawan. Jawan definitely, yeah. Because they say I go too far. I'm the guy where they're like, no, Dalen, you cannot bury yourself in a graveyard. Like, chill out, Dalen.
You're like, but wait, I mean, I
Right.
can do it. Why?
Jawan is definitely the voice of reason, and Marcus is the voice of religion. So that's how we are.
Well, the rest of our podcast, we're talking about The Conjuring. And I will say, man, you pushed the limits when you made Jawan lay in the bed at The Conjuring and he had his safe word pineapple. Was that
Pineapple?
right? Something pineapple, and the doors open up. He drops and you got him tied in the PJs. And I'm like,
That was so random. Like we have fun with each other, but no one was expecting that door to really open up the way that it did. Like
dude, that was scary.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. That house is messed up.
I mean, we had that same kind of experience. We've done The Conjuring also, and that door opened on us too.
Yeah, and it's not.
did.
It's not easy to open.
There. It's not one of those doors that just, the wind can. You got to put some force to open that door.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
No joke. Well, that's what the rest of our show tonight is going to be about, is The Conjuring House. So
That's dope. That's dope.
you got anything to say about that before you go?
I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be able to investigate it. Again, man, this just comes with the perks of being on television. I know you guys were able to get access to the Conjuring House, but when we did it, they were able to reach out to Andrea Perrin.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she came out with this. I mean, that's the homie. Like, we love her. Like, just in real life, we hang out, like events and all of that. But just to investigate the house with her and to hear her real life accounts and not what the movie said.
Exactly.
That's what was dope. And I just felt like, damn, we blessed, because just being regular guys like we were a couple years ago at home, we would have never gotten this opportunity. Ever. Like, ever.
She is amazing. I did a podcast not too long ago and she was on before me.
Yeah.
And so when the host came on, he's like, oh, I just talked to Andrea Perrin. And I'm like, wait, what? You couldn't have hooked up a 3-way with Andrea and me so we could chat? And he's like, oh, no.
She's funny. Like, she's in real life, she's probably nothing like people would expect her to be. Like, in real life. like she's dope. We love her. Like, love her and her dad. Like, they're the coolest people ever. But like, they're nothing like you probably would imagine. After hearing such a crazy story like that and seeing the movies, you would just think that she's probably one way, or maybe scarred, or maybe like traumatized. And not saying that she's not, but knows how to have a good time. Like, she's a party. So she's cool.
We're gonna have to get her on here, Lisa.
For sure.
It would be so fun.
I feel like she would do it. Like, she's a fun person. Like, she's one of those people. There's a few people that we've met in the paranormal community that just stand out. Like, you would just hang out with in real life.
Yeah, just because they're fun as hell.
Like, Chip Coffee, we hang out with Chip.
I love him.
Amy and Adam, all the time.
Oh yeah.
Destination Fear, all the time. Like, we hang out with these people all the time. Andrea Perrin, like, these are the people that, like, outside of the paranormal, are just really great people.
You know, that's one of the good things about the paranormal community, though, is that it does bring you in contact with people that you probably would have never met before.
Never in a million years.
And the people in that circle tend to be some of the greatest people.
Mm-hmm.
They really do.
Totally agreed. All right,
we won't keep holding you up, Dalen, because we could talk to you all night.
Talk to y'all, but I know my wife is up there giving me a
God, we don't want to get you in trouble, man.
The wall.
Thank you, Dalen. And tell Stacy we're really, really sorry that we kept you long.
no, we're sorry that I didn't get the blowout diaper. That's what that's about.
We might have did you a favor.
Right?
No, we definitely did you a favor.
We definitely did. She don't care about me doing the podcast. She just mad that she got caught with the boo-boo diaper. So, but no,
Oh
You
my
can tell
God.
her. You can tell her we're also looking forward to her coming out in the graveyard shift because
yeah,
I know she's scary, so she's gonna be like Dalen. Let's no. Why? Well, we got to go over there, Dalen.
That probably will be. I'm sure it's probably going to be the shortest episode that I upload, but I'm gonna get her out there. I'm gonna get her
Do
out
it.
there for sure.
Do it. All right,
All
man.
right.
Have a good evening. Thanks for hanging
Sure.
out with us.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. We'll
Bye,
see you in
Dalen.
April.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, what a great
Man, isn't he
guest.
great?
He was fantastic. What a
Oh
great
my God.
guest.
He's so good. I'm sorry, my
He is so good.
timer went off, so I'm trying to pull it back up. Oh my God, the things that he told us that we didn't know.
I know.
All the behind the scenes stuff, the bad stuff that's happened to them sucks.
That's
But
terrible.
I know.
Like who does that? But I mean,
I don't know.
that as well as anybody how things like that happen. You have crazy people that
I've experienced it
you've had
firsthand, unfortunately.
You have.
Unfortunately.
You definitely have.
So, girl, Dalen was awesome. So we only have like
was.
15 minutes of our show left.
I
So
know.
people that are listening, let's you guys are probably going, who the hell are these two girls? We don't even know them. So we're going to tell you about us so you know who you're going to be listening to every week. And Lisa and I have both agreed this is going to be a keeping it real show. So if we F things up, you're going to see it, you're going to hear it. If we drop anything or whatever, you guys are going to see it. This is going to be unedited, all unedited.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're just going to be straight real with you guys. We're going to give you our side of things, kind of like Dalen just did. Y'all are going to hear behind the scenes. You're going to see bloopers. You're going to hear bloopers. I mean, we're just going to keep it real with y'all.
Yeah, like just now, I have a flake of mascara in my eyeball and it hurts. Okay, we'll get through it. Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
My name is Becky Vickers, and I'm not going to make this long, y'all. I've been researching the paranormal for over 40 years, and don't do the math, just leave it alone. And I have 2 dogs, 1 daughter, 1 boyfriend. I love Dr. Peppers and sweet tea. You will see me with my fancy glass. It's tea, y'all. It's tea, but I don't care. I'm going to drink it out of a fancy glass. And I think my guilty pleasure is Little Debbie's. And seriously, when we were snowed in this past week, I had a box of Little Debbie's on Monday. By Wednesday, not Friday, Wednesday, the box was empty. There you go. Lisa knows that about me.
There is not a road trip that we go on that this woman does not have a sack full or 2 of snacks.
Yeah.
You're never going to go hungry on a road trip with Becky. That is for sure.
Lisa knows.
All right, well, so I'm Lisa Isaacs. I've been interested in the paranormal since I was a child. I had experiences when I was a kid, and that led me to the paranormal. Then I met Becky years ago. She investigated my grandmother's house. My grandmother was seeing ghosts. We thought she was crazy. She wasn't. So that's how I met Becky. And Becky and I've been doing paranormal investigation together for a few years now.
Yeah.
I have 1 cat, 1 son, 1 fiance that I will be marrying, and he's my best friend. We'll be getting married actually in a haunted ghost town in Nevada. And
that's the coolest shit. Just saying.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so good.
It is. It is, girl. I can't wait.
It is. It's like, right, it's so me.
It's so you. She rented out the whole damn town, y'all. This isn't just like a room. Shit, we got a whole haunted town.
Got a whole haunted town. I also love sweet tea. I do not drink it out of a fancy. I drink it out of my ghost cup.
She's better than me. She's got a cool ghost glass.
My guilty pleasure is traveling. I love to travel.
Oh,
I mean, I don't even care if it's
I'm with you on that.
I love to travel.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's who I am.
Y'all, Lisa and I travel a lot together, and you guys are going to hear through our podcast later on some of our episodes and things that we do. And we're considering doing part 2 to each one of our episodes and showing you some behind the scenes of the road trip and some of our evidence. But like Lisa and I do shit like last time we went up to the Sally house, there's this poor dog in the middle of the street, and we tried to catch the dog for 30, 45 minutes because it was hot. We were worried about its feet, and it was running in the bushes. Lisa's driving the car. I'm out trying to get the dog. It wants no part of us. So you guys are going to get to see that stuff.
Yeah, it's the real life times of a paranormal investigator. It's what we really do. It's not all about just going up to a location, getting your stuff out and ghost hunting. No, it's about Becky screaming because she thinks she saw a snake. It's me walking into a spider web and having a fit, and Becky screaming because she thought I saw a snake. I mean, this is the kind of thing.
She has to tell me that, like, that's
what she says.
Like...
I actually have video footage of that. You were like screaming. Ah! I was like, it's a spider, it's a spider. And you're like, you have to freaking tell me it's a spider, not a snake. She's serious about the snake, y'all.
Y'all, that's no lie. I am. And when you get tired, I mean, we're just keeping it real here, right, people? Like when we were at the Conjuring House that we're about to talk about, this might be too much. And Angie and Claudia, I apologize in advance. But when you get up super early, you investigate all night, you have paranormal hangovers. It's a thing, paranormal hangover. And you start talking about goofy shit way in the wee morning. Like, I think we finally went to bed at 5. And at that point, we were talking about all we could do was think of taking our bra off, and our boobs hurt and our back hurt. And it was cold as hell in that house.
God,
so, I mean, where your
cold.
Conversation drifts, it's crazy.
That house was super cold.
I know, it was.
Yeah.
All right. So, tell them about the house.
That place is, the energy just driving up to that place.
I agree.
The moment that you see it, that it comes into view, it's like you just totally feel the change, the shift in that energy. And it's not necessarily that it's a bad thing that but it's definitely heavy. It's definitely different. I remember we were going down the road and we were filming it, our drive to that. And I remember the moment I said, oh, we're here. And we hadn't even turned into the driveway yet because I felt so much
that gives
different.
me chills just thinking back on it, because
you
it is just like this ominous kind of house when you pull up.
And it's an amazing house. I mean,
for sure.
To actually get to go into something that was built in 1736.
Yeah. Wait a minute, 1700. What the hell? What even stands after that long, really?
Right. I mean, it was built in the 1736. It survived 8 generations of the Arnold family before it changed hands and went to someone outside that family. So that was just an amazing experience. There's so much paranormal stuff that happens in that location. It's crazy. I mean, disembodied voices and phantom smells, things moving around or disappearing. We're just, the parents themselves have said, the beds every day at 5:15 at the same time every day would shake and lift off the floor. That's
can you imagine living through that? Like how Dalen was saying, Andrea is so cool and just funny. I'm not too sure if I lived through what she saw and heard and experienced, I might not really be truly traumatized for life.
Listen, I would be scarred to hell. There ain't no way. She goes back in that house.
Turning the lights off, leave those on all the time.
She steps back in that house and says, I'm home. And I'm like, hell no. Nope. I don't live here. No, ghost, I am not home. No, I'll go in there and investigate, but I know I'm packing my shit up and I'm getting to go home.
There you go.
And I'm kind of like Dalen, take all the clothes off. They need to be soaked in a tub of holy water. When you go to a place like that, you can't, no.
Yeah, I'm with you, girl.
I mean, she does. I'm home.
I know. It's wild. It's wild.
And they do talk about how that house, she said that too, like they could never get warm. And you remember how we even had our electric blankets. Because I mean, it was April when we were there and it was cool out, but it wasn't like cold.
Yeah,
And
we even went and bought you, wasn't that
Yeah.
at the Conjuring House? We bought her an electric blanket because there was electricity, but we had everything off. But y'all, even Lisa and I are like snuggle bunnies. We are so freaking cold. It was not normal cold. We're
It was not.
inside.
It was not a normal cold at all. It was to the bone kind of cold.
It was.
But it wasn't that. I mean, we had been outside and stuff. It's like that house.
It is. There's something to that. There's something to that whole it being cold. Even the farmer that sold them, the parents, the house, commented, the house really never gets warm. And the parents started experiencing that from day one.
Well, and I think that even kind of steered them in the direction of some of the things that happened to them, like her mom. They had what they called the warming closet off the bathroom because it backed up to the fireplace. So it was warm in there. So that's where they would go in there to get dressed. And that's where her mom got attacked, in that closet. Remember, the door was held and she was attacked in there. And so, I mean, it was all about them getting warm.
Yeah. That's crazy
her
shit
being able
right
to
there.
get warm after a shower. That was just an amazing location. I definitely would go back.
Oh, in a heartbeat. I mean, you and I have talked about that place so many times. It's not super big, but it's very disoriented a little bit. You don't really, you lose your bearings in that house. And so now we know the lay of the land. We kind of know what we've experienced. So we want to do over because now we know what we experienced last time. The door that Dalen was talking about that opened up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't we have that picture?
We do. We do have a picture of that door. And it is right there. That is the door. Now, in their episode, they had a bed there in front of that chalkboard. And so the door is over to the right of that chair. But that door does not open easy.
It's one of those old timey pushing against the wall and then latching kind of things.
Yeah, and it was like stuck. It was like a stuck door. And this was when the parents lived there. This was Andrea's bedroom.
Yes,
and in that door actually is what they call the birthing room, because it also
isn't that name just creepy as hell. The birthing room, and it's in a closet. Ugh.
Yeah, well, it's actually part of that, like the attic kind of thing, isn't it? Because remember, when you're in there, the nails from the roof, you can see them.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I think they told us it was there was a fireplace there, and so that's why it was the birthing room, because it was warmer. Because
I had forgotten that, but you're right. They did say that.
Yeah, the heat from the fireplace would keep that room warmer, so that's why they would do the birthing in there. So.
Yeah,
that was an amazing experience too, to have the fact that we had that same experience that the Ghost Brothers had, that door open.
Yeah. And like them, like it was 4 of us girls in the whole damn house, y'all. I mean, it was us 4. We had it to ourselves. And then that doors. There we are. There's our ghost buds, the sweetest girls ever.
This is our crew we run around with a lot and do a bunch of ghost hunting with. And as you can tell, that was a bucket list item for us. That was on the top of our paranormal bucket list. So
y'all, I can't even tell y'all how much fun we had on that trip to the Conjuring, and then we went up to Salem. It was fabulous.
It was a good trip. You remember whenever I was in the dining room, and I could have swore I thought you were talking. I thought you were doing a podcast or doing a Facebook Live or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I came into the room where I thought you were, and there was no one in there. So I was like, because I was thinking I need to be quiet because she's doing something. And there was nobody in there. And I said, Becky, I was calling for you and you didn't answer. Yeah. And then here you come through the door because you were outside.
Yeah, I was outside at the car, y'all.
And I heard a woman, a disembodied voice. I heard a woman talking, and it wasn't just like a hey, it was like a like a conversation happening. I really did. I really thought that you were in that room, that I was going to walk in and you were going to be standing there.
I know your
And it
face
was in
because,
that-
yeah, because when I walked in, you
Yeah.
were coming up the hall kind of thing. And you're like, where were you? And I'm like, I was at the car getting whatever out. And you're like, no, I heard you talking. I'm like, no, I haven't been in the house. And
Yeah, I
her
even asked
face,
you.
y'all, was just, you could tell she truly heard something. She
Y'all,
was like dumbfounded.
It scared the shit out of me because I heard it plain as day. I
Yeah.
just knew. I even asked you, were you outside the door talking to somebody? And you were like, no, I was at the car.
Mm-mm.
What are
No.
you talking about? But then you and Claudia were in
Yes.
the living room.
Yep.
Which is the room that the seance happened in.
Yep. Tell everybody what about the seance.
So the parents, they were having so much activity. Even, I mean, just the kids had reported seeing like a woman figure, but she wore dark, like black clothing. She had really sharp, pointy teeth and stink. She had a foul smell.
Yeah.
And so much stuff was going on in the house that the mom and dad couldn't ignore it anymore. So by somehow or another, the Ed and Lorraine Warren had heard about this going on, and they showed up at their door. So they finally accepted the help of the Warrens to try to help clear whatever was going on in their house, because they loved the home. They wanted to be in there. They wanted to stay there, but they couldn't handle it anymore. So they did accept the help of Ed and Lorraine Warren. So they came in and they decided to do a seance. And it was actually in this room that they held the seance, which is the living area. And this is when they were doing the seance. Now the movie would tell you that Carolyn Perrin, that
Yep.
she was actually had an attack, or that she became possessed. Andrea says that she wasn't possessed, she was attacked. And so she was actually thrown across the room from in the chair that she was sitting in, and she landed all the way back in the back where you can see the fireplace back there.
Yeah.
She landed all the way back there. And Andrea and her sister were hiding right around the corner on the stairs. And they were not supposed to be there, but she saw it happen. Andrea said she actually has said that she actually thought she had just witnessed her mother's death.
Can you
And so-
believe at a child seeing something like that? Like, how do you even begin to rationalize that? Like, what the hell did I just see? My mom. And like you said, her talking about, or you just said that Andrea thought she saw her mom die.
Yeah.
Holy crap, you know?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I could set foot back in that place and say, I'm home. Then
No.
I really don't know that I
No.
would ever want to go back into that, if to live in that and to experience what they did.
Right.
I mean, for us as investigators, that's what we do. We go in there, we are expecting it to happen,
Right.
but we're not having to live with it every single day. And
No.
I don't want to.
No.
I don't want to.
No, I agree.
And while Ed and Lorraine were there, Lorraine Warren actually picked up on a spirit by the name of Bathsheba Sherman. And she didn't ever live on the land. She was never living there. She actually lived on the farm, the neighboring farm. But she was accused of being a witch, and also accused of the death of a neighbor's child that was in her care at the time that the child died. It was found that the child had a sewing needle stuck into the base of its skull and into its brain. That's what killed it.
That's scary stuff.
And
What
she
the
was
hell?
never, they never were able to find her guilty of it. Because there wasn't, I guess, back then enough evidence or something.
Yeah.
But she's actually buried not far from the farm. Her and her children are buried not far from there. So Lorraine Warren picked up on Bathsheba Sherman's spirit when she was there, but the parents say that's not who was haunting them. Yes, she was haunting, but that's not who was attacking. So they actually think, or Andrea actually thinks that it was one of the original ladies of the house, Mrs. Arnold. And that
Yes,
she was,
I've heard her say that.
yeah, and that she was, so she was like the mistress of the house or the lady of the house. And so the father, Roger Perrin, she had a thing for him. And so that's why she would attack Carolyn, because Carolyn, don't touch my man kind of thing,
Yeah, but she took it to a whole nother level. This
a whole
Bathsheba.
nother level. Well, I don't think it was Bathsheba, it was Mrs. Arnold.
Oh, Mrs. Arnold. Oh, being the lady of the house.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
And you remember, they also talked about the spirit of the lady with the bent neck, that had
Yes.
the broken, and she's the same lady with the teeth, the
Yes.
stinky lady. And the people who owned it, when the Conjuring movie came out, they actually were running a daycare in that place. And
Oh God.
they left some stuff behind when they sold it, and the people who bought it from them, which I guess they don't even own it anymore, they just recently sold it, but they were down in the basement doing some stuff, and they actually found a bookcase or a shelving unit that has some scratches and some drawings on it. And it's a kid drew that broken neck lady.
Can y'all see that? It's just above Lisa's head.
Yeah, it's right over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, y'all see it now? Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that in person, and we were just kind of like, it gives me the heebie-jeebies just looking at it on.
I know. I just thought that same thing, like a child drew that.
Yeah.
So they had to see, that's not a normal thing a kid would draw.
No.
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 But you remember,
and look, they've drawn the teeth. I'm sorry, I'm just noticing the teeth. It looks like he's drawn or she's drawn
the teeth,
like teeth. Is that teeth hanging down? What the hell?
I don't know. It's so creepy. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Okay. Move on.
It's so weird. Yeah, and all through it just that one room, the dining room. You remember they had those things hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah. Y'all, this house did have these weird ass, like, I don't know what that's called, but there were everywhere from the ceiling. It's some sort of protection stuff. It
was only in that one room, in the dining room. And that's why I remember he told us that would be our safest place to hang out.
I do remember him saying.
Yeah. And I do feel like that was probably the most comfortable room in the whole house.
I agree. It was.
Because
not to mention it had the food in there. The table was covered with food.
Y'all, when we do these things, like we try to be as real as we can be. We don't eat. Okay. And we thought, you know what? They told us the kitchen works, everything works. So we were like, we're making chili dogs.
Yeah.
And you remember, we were like, why not? I mean, there was 5 of us.
It was the funnest damn thing too.
It was. Well, so we kind of go into this also with how can we trigger? What can we do to generate the energy in the house to show us what there is to see? And so there was 5 of us girls. There were 5 parent sisters.
Yeah.
And so we decided we're just going to be a family right now. We're going to cook. We're going to sit down. We're going to eat together. We're going to laugh and talk, and we're going to juice this place up.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It did. That was such a good idea on our part, because we cooked together. We all hung out, and then we sat down at the table like a family, 5 females, 5 girls, like the parent, and our parent daughters or sisters or whatever, however you want to say it. There we are. We tried to recreate the stance of the kids.
Yeah, that's the original daughters. Sorry, she got
only if we had that cute little outfits there. But y'all, if you haven't been to The Conjuring, we can't even tell you everything that we've done there, that we experienced there. It's a must. If you're a paranormal investigator, it's a must.
It is 100% a must.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
this was actually the front of the house. It's kind of sits on the side now, but it actually
it was
was the
the
front door.
original. Yeah, it originally was the front of the house, and it is the exact location.
Yep.
That the picture, the original picture was taken. It's just
Yeah.
the stairs have changed.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a pretty good job of recreating that. I mean,
We to
there's
the
some-
best of our ability.
we look like we're freezing to death.
Yeah, because it was.
Look at our faces.
Cold.
Hurry,
Yeah.
take the picture.
Yeah, this is our fake smiles because we're ready to get the hell out. Take it, take it, take it.
Take the damn picture. We're to go
Yeah.
freezing. And the woods out there too. You remember that?
Girl, I'll be honest with you. I think if we had, we talked about going outside at one point and walking the tree line. I wasn't good with that. I just was afraid of that for some weird reason.
Well, I mean, you did see the snake skins down in the basement, and then he told you that he had just let a 5-foot snake go.
Thanks for bringing that up. Yes.
Oh,
But
you guys.
they had all those rocks, and I think that had something to do. Wasn't that from like the Civil War, some war battleground, something that those rocks were actually stacked?
There actually was a war that was held on that. I want to say it was called the King's War.
Yeah, I think you're right. Something like that.
So yeah, there was a battle that happened on the grounds. But this is also where, one of the parent girls, when they first moved in there and the activity started happening, the thing that she kept hearing was 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall. 7 dead soldiers
That's
buried in the
right.
wall.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and they have since had ground penetrating radar come out there, and there are graves right against that wall.
That's crazy shit.
Yeah, and so,
Girl, it makes me want to book a ticket back right now. Like, it was just, it's so creepy that it draws you in. Like you can't get enough of it. Look at that. Look at that right there.
That's exactly this area out here is actually where they found those graves, and there's 6 right together, I believe. And then they're thinking that there is another one somewhere in that.
That's crazy.
He did tell us that they used to call those slave walls. Remember, he told us it's called a slave wall, because in the day that would have been built, it would have been, unfortunately, the slaves that were doing that, and so they did call them slave walls. And of course,
that's true. I forgot all about that. I keep looking at it behind your head, just hoping I see a shadow or something weird back there.
Wouldn't that be something?
I know. That's such a good picture. And y'all, even looking at it, how are you not kind of creeped out by it? I mean, I know there's nothing there but grass and rocks, but there's still something about it that's just, it's off. It's off.
Well, when we do make our journey back, though, we're going to have to suck it up, Becky, because there's the graves that are out there. It's like a mile hike across that little bridge and stuff. That's the soldiers' graves, and they are actually have tombstones and stuff.
As long as we go in the winter, so the snakes aren't out.
Oh, sure, we'll freeze our asses off.
Okay, we'll put double coats on.
We're going to get some warming socks, a heated vest.
Hell yes.
I already got mine. Hey, y'all, if y'all are paranormal investigators, real talk, get yourself a heated vest.
Yes.
It is
Amen.
It is the best thing since sliced bread. And as Dalen said, sliced white bread. Because y'all can keep that wheat shit.
Yeah.
Southern girls like us some white bread.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh. What other pictures did we take that we can show real quick?
That's the picture of the kitchen. That's where we cooked our chili dogs, you guys.
Yep.
Yeah. And in the kitchen here, one of the first things that Carolyn Perrin experienced was she could hear sweeping, what sounded like sweeping.
That's
and she would go in there. She would go in there, and the broom was not moved.
Right.
But then she would hear it again, and she'd go back, and there'd be a pile of where someone had swept something into a pile. Yeah.
Yeah, they had. I'm sure you guys have all heard about the Conjuring House. There's so much stuff that you can go research about this place, and I mean, we're just barely touching on any of it. We're just going by stuff off of our experience, but this has everything that you would want to experience in one location as a ghost hunter. You've
Yeah.
got the code spots, you've got shadows, you've got voices, you've got the whole creep factor wrapped up in this one house. It's
Truly.
just, I mean, it is. There's nothing that you would want to experience that wouldn't happen here. I mean, they had an exorcism there. They did a seance. They got a demon in the basement, Bathsheba. They got physical attacks. Holy
There's-
crap.
I mean, they have said that on the land alone, there's been hundreds of murders, deaths, suicides.
Right.
Just, you know, the battle, you know, soldiers dying on the land, you know, people just dying back in those days too, you know, 1736 is when it was built.
And
The parent,
you and I know that that's 100% a real possibility is spirits being tied to the land. Maybe not the house, but the land.
right. I think it is tied to the land. I remember Corey Heisen.
I don't
Or
know,
the
the
Jennifer-
owner.
Yeah, they were the people who owned it. It's now been sold, but they were the people who owned it when we went. I remember him telling us that one of his neighbors told him, because he was digging to remodel this basement or something, and they found bones.
Mm-mm.
You remember that? He said they found bones that were really big. So they would
I
have been
do.
like from a really, really tall human being.
Yeah.
And so he thinks that the because they've gotten a SLS on the SLS, and we got it too.
Yeah, we
But
did.
it's like really tall and it's tilted over. And he thinks that that's what the children were seeing was like a giant man with the broken neck. Not
Ow.
even a broken neck, but like having to tilt because he was too tall.
Yeah.
Because I
That's a
remember
good
when we were,
point.
well, I remember when we were in the basement, we had our SLS going, and I think I was doing like the Estes method or something.
Yeah,
I had the
you
blindfold
were.
on,
Mhm.
and you said, I want
Oh,
you to
girl,
move.
yeah, we got something up in the corner. It wasn't even on the floor. It was up in the corner over you. That was freaky. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, you were telling me you remember you tapped me and said, I want you to move. I don't want you sitting over
Yeah.
there anymore.
All of
Yeah.
us felt that. We all agreed. It was like, we need to tap her out. She can't sit here. This thing is like looming over her. No, not safe.
And you had your feet up off the ground.
Y'all, we get to the damn place and we're all excited about the ghost stuff. And when I tell y'all I'm afraid of snakes, I don't mean, oh, whoop, snake, run. I am petrified. I will lose my shit over a snake. And the man, Corey, just casually says, oh, well, when you go down into the basement, y'all, I let a 5-foot snake go last week because my wife didn't want me to kill it. I'm out. I love paranormal with every ounce of my being, but no, we're going to not sit down in this 1700 year-old basement or whatever with the lights out. The snake's going to crawl up on those poles or boards or cross. No,
Well,
I'm going to
and
wait on the stairs.
there were snake skins, remember, that were hanging.
Hell yes.
That where snakes had been in there and shedded their skin.
Yeah,
on the rocks and
not
stuff.
good with that. Not good with that. Get back, Satan, man. No.
Yeah, we literally almost pretty much had to drag her. We had to just say, Becky, look, we
I
came
did.
all this way.
I was about to cry. I'm not gonna lie. I was
She
about
was
to cry
about to
about it.
cry. She really was. She got in her chair and she tucked her feet up in the chair.
Oh no.
Her feet were not on the ground. She did not let go of her flashlight at all. And about every 2 seconds, it was all.
I'm trying to suck it up because I'm in the Conjuring House, for God's sake. But there's also a freaking snake in here with us. No. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, but when we were finally done with our ghost hunt, and I remember you and I shared a bed, and I
Yes.
remember we were sleeping in what used to be April's room, I think. April and Cindy, I think, lived.
I think so.
slept
I
in-
think you're right.
It was their room, and we were sleeping in that room, and I've got a picture of it right here. And this room, guys, every single one of us, and there's 5 of us, we went into this room.
Yeah.
And I remember nobody really said anything at the moment. We kind of all were standing around and looking kind of weird, but every
Yep.
one of us had vertigo and some of us were feeling nauseous. And then finally somebody said, I don't feel right in this room. And we were all like, oh my God, me either. I feel dizzy. I feel sick to my stomach. I feel, there's something wrong. The energy in that room is, I don't know. It's weird.
It's not normal.
It's not normal.
None of us brought it up at first because we're all trying to sit down in the floor, but we're all extremely quiet. Like we're all chatty and cut up the whole time, but we weren't. Not one of us in this room was doing that. And then somebody, like you said, finally said, man, I really don't feel good. It's dizzy. And then we were all like, yeah, we feel the same thing.
Well, and this is the room where April, and she was the youngest of the parent kids, but she actually had made the friend with this Oliver Richardson kid, and she would play with him in that closet, the one where the rocking chair is sitting. There's a closet back there. That was where she would play with him. He would hide in there and they would play together. And so when the Warrens came, she actually didn't tell him about him because she was afraid they'd make him leave. And she didn't want him to go. And she didn't even actually tell her sisters about it either until they were much older. So, and
the whole damn house is just creepy. I'm looking at these pictures as you're showing them, and it was just creepy. Well, that's not a good enough word, but
and that window, this window that's actually a window right there.
Yep,
that used to
I do remember that.
Because I mean, when they started building this house, they started building it in 1736. I think he said it was completed like late 1700s. It was completely done with what it is now. And of course, there's been, upkeep and remodel, not terribly remodeled because it's old. I mean, the floor is pretty, it's great. But so that used to be an outside window. So now it's just a window between two bedrooms. And I remember waking up from sleeping and hearing footsteps. I thought a couple of the other girls in the other room had gotten up or something. So I looked and they were still in the bed. You were still sound asleep. And I said, nope. I'm like, nope. And we had closed
Go back to sleep. Don't look.
I was like, I'm not by myself. No. Nope.
Yeah.
We're done. We're not ghost hunting, guys. We're sleeping. And so I remember turning over on my side, and I was looking towards that window, and that bedroom door was closed. We had closed that bedroom door before, I think, because we were still in that damn birthing closet.
I know. I hated that room.
I thought, if that birthing closet opens while we're sleeping, I want them to have to open another door to get to us.
Good thinking. Put barriers between us.
I don't know if there's any logic to that, but that's how my mind works.
Sounds good.
So I'm looking at that window because I'm thinking, I know I heard people walking. I heard footsteps on these creaky ass wood floors. And I see in that window a flashing, colorful light. And I thought, oh, we must have left a cat ball in there or one of our pieces of equipment that lights up like, And I remember the next day when we got up and we were gathering our shit up to leave. And I went in there, I was like, let me go get whatever it was we left in there. And there was no equipment in that room. Nothing. So I have no idea.
Didn't Andrea comment about seeing some lights in that?
I think so.
Because I'm reading her books, and for some reason that's kind of ringing a bell with me that she commented about they would see these random lights, even outside of the house.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about that used to be outside or whatever, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, I thinking that's what she said, that they would see these random lights and not know what they were. And if that window was now built inside, well, maybe you saw something.
That does, because it was, I really did. I just knew we left a piece of equipment in there and it was going off, and I sure as hell wasn't getting up to go see what it was. I mean, nope.
Yeah.
And we didn't know until a few days later, but one of the other girls actually heard the footsteps too. I think it was
Claudia or Angie heard it.
I think it was either Angie or Claudia, one of the two that heard it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It is.
That was crazy. I mean, we had some good stuff there. It's definitely a return to location.
Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. What do you give it?
Based on personal experience?
Just overall. Yeah.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
And my reason for that is because we did have a lot of personal experiences, but didn't catch a lot of evidence, because it was all more of a, well, I mean, you and Claudia caught that man's voice. That was good.
That was amazing. We caught a man's voice on 4 different recorders, and he said something like, "I'm the colonel." Remember? I'm the general. And then we tried to start communicating with the general or the colonel.
I thought it said move.
Oh, you know what? I think there was one, but didn't we start communicating with the spirit or something that we heard? I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I think I would give it a 9. Only, I agree. None of us got slammed up against a wall. None of us,
Right.
The bed didn't shake at 5:15 because we were awake. The bed didn't shake when we were there. But just the energy, the history, the paranormal events that had happened there, you can't go there and walk out not affected a little bit, whether it be just reminiscing of how the parents' family lived in this house. So for me, I think I give it a 9.
You know, that is what you just said. I do agree. You can't go there and not leave affected.
No,
even
I agree.
if it's just the simple fact that you can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, it's ever consuming.
Your
mind is just replaying all these events in your head.
Yeah, because I mean, that was last year that we were there. And
Right.
immediately when we left, we were already talking about when can we go back?
Oh, those words were coming out our mouths the minute we got in the car. It's like, we can't wait to get back. We can't wait.
Yeah. And we will. And
Yep.
when we go back, next time we might do live.
That's right. We'll just bring our audience with us.
We're just going to bring y'all with us. We might do that.
Yep.
That may be fun.
All right. Our first episode was supposed to be an hour, but if you guys can see, we're running on almost 2 hours now. And because we like to talk, and Dalen was such a wonderful guest and allowed us some extra time. And so we appreciate that.
Yeah, he was a great guest.
Oh my God, he was so sweet. He was so sweet.
Yeah.
And I hope he didn't get in trouble with Stacy because he didn't come help with the baby. I feel bad about that. But all right, let's close it out, Lisa, on our episode 1. You guys, it has been a blast. I hope you had fun listening to Dalen, Lisa, and our experiences talking about The Conjuring. We have many more. And so we hope you guys are going to enjoy our podcast and experiences that we share.
Absolutely. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things on here, not just ghosts. We're going to cover all paranormal,
Right.
Sasquatch, UFO. I mean,
Yep.
true crime even.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing, I guess, all encompassing kind of paranormal stuff. But,
Right.
But we do.
We're going to talk about anything you can think of, really.
And you know what, guys? If you guys have any ideas that you want to hear
Yeah.
us talk about, email us. Our email is oursideparanormal@gmail.com. So just send us an email about your ideas, something you want to hear us talk about,
Yeah.
It's something you want to hear more about, or maybe it's even something that we didn't even think about talking about.
Yeah, reach out, man. We love getting emails from viewers and listeners.
Yeah, exactly. And also make sure you follow us on all our social media.
Yep.
You're going to be able to see our first 3 episodes on
Right.
YouTube. And then you can tune in every Tuesday for a new episode. We're going to be dropping a new episode every Tuesday. And we really thank you guys for listening. So like I said, you guys can binge watch our next 3 episodes now on YouTube.
Yes.
Don't forget to
And go do it.
Yeah, go do it. Don't forget to like, share, follow, comment.
Yes.
Comment. And then also don't forget to go check Dalen's stuff out too. His Ghosts That Are Roasted on YouTube with Stacy, his Graveyard
It's so
Shift.
damn good. It's so funny.
It's hilarious. It's fantastic stuff. So yeah, you guys shoot us an email, comment, and y'all stay spooky.
Y'all stay spooky. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Now I can just drink out of the bottle. I gotta go pee.
Good.
I mean, I gotta be classy, right?